What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. First things first, ask questions last. Yo, shout out to anyone who knows what lyric that song's from. Don't Google it, that's just cheating. That's just cheating. Back in my day, all those decades ago when I was a young boy, we didn't have the internet. Literally didn't have the internet. How about that? And then I couldn't Google things like that because Google didn't exist, because the internet didn't exist, because I'm really old. First things first, genuinely guys, yesterday's video, I kind of like just went to a place I wasn't even prepared for. Talked about a lot of personal stuff to me, a lot of background, and you guys are just amazing with your responses, man. Like the amount of people that are suffering similar things, worse things, or not quite as bad things, but just still going through tough times is overwhelming. I was reading the comments in the comment section for some hours this morning when I got up, and it was just touching, man, to see that I can help people by just being an idiot playing FIFA. Like, honestly, it's amazing to me that I can help your lives in any way. And for those of you that I don't help your lives in any way, sorry, I guess. But thank you guys for the kind words, for the support. And one thing that I've noticed in my comment section on this channel that I don't see anywhere else, and I mean anywhere else, and I watch a fair few YouTubers. That's a lie, I don't really watch any YouTubers. I watch one YouTuber religiously, and that's Philip DeFranco. I don't miss a Philip DeFranco video, but when I do go to YouTube, or when I go to streamers, because I watch a lot of streamers, you don't get a sense of community, right? Because it's just a lot of people trying to project their opinion and their thoughts to the streamer or the YouTuber to get a response and a reaction for their own gratification. What I like to see in my comment section on this channel only, and this doesn't happen in my main channel, but on this channel, what I see a lot of is a community. Because we've kind of gone into this like area of Q&A basically every video, which again wasn't necessarily planned, but I'm happy it's gone that way because I've learned a lot, and you guys in turn get to like feel that knowledge back. What I see is sometimes some people ask a question and it will get answered in the comment section by the other people, and now I'm starting to see the same names having actual discussions in the comment section, which I think is brilliant. So congratulations to you guys for actually being normal human beings on YouTube, because I tell you something guys, that is very, very rare for the comment section. One thing that gets brought up basically every video is this. I'm growing this bit here. I don't know why. I started shaving and I got to here, and I thought, you know what, let's grow this bit here. And because it bothers so many of you and so many of you don't like it, I'm gonna just keep growing it now. I was gonna I have actually got an appointment at the barber's in a few days, and I was just gonna get like a proper, like a cutthroat shave, like something nice, get it really trim, really clean. But now because so many of you don't like it, I'm gonna grow it out even more, just because I can. Because I'm an idiot, guys. I'm an idiot. Also, in the last video, I had my window open. The cars were a bit too loud, and some people said it didn't bother them, some people said they found it therapeutic, but there was a fair few comments saying those cars are just too loud, with quite a lot of thumbs up. So duly noted, the window will no longer be open during the videos. So we completed the David Villa SBC. It was a little bit more expensive than I would have hoped to have paid for it. I thought I would have had way more MLS players available to me than I did. And I didn't really get to sell many of them on because I just didn't have that many in the club. Now I know I've completed the Giovinco SBC, so that's why. But I've opened so many bronze packs in the meantime that I really thought I would have had a good amount on there. And not to not have players like Seaman, the Belgian centre-back, was destroying to me because I had to pay like 9,000 coins for him. However, one of the comments of a previous video that I didn't end up reading out that is just kind of stuck in memory was, why do I keep getting these special cards just to leave them on the bench and never use them? I just like them. I like collecting them. I'm pretty gutted that I didn't get the Payet, the Gaspar, and the Costa, but I just couldn't afford them at the time. As I mentioned in another video, if I did get them, I would be way behind. They just weren't right. But now we've got so many coins, so many players, we do so well in Foot Champs that I'm able to get any and every special card EA offer. So even if I never use them, I'm more than happy to just pop them in the club, leave them in there, and then use them if and when I potentially could. I wanted to use this David Villa. I wanted to test him out, so I threw him into a team that would work in Division 2. This is us in Division 2 now. I've gone through the divisions really quickly over the last couple of weeks. I didn't really plan to, but there's nothing else to do. There's just nothing else to do. If you have to build a team for the daily knockouts, if you like required certain specifications, and your team that you're comfortable with doesn't fit those specifications, you literally have to play divisions, which I find to be ridiculous. Anyway, lots to get through today. Lee Ham, and I think that's like Liam, but Lee Ham, brilliant. Nep, get rid of KDB and play player of the month, Son in centre midfield. A lot of thumbs up on that as well. And yes, I don't necessarily disagree, and it's definitely something that I'm interested in trying next week. However, this weekend league, it's 3 nations max for the team. I'm going to be going with Belgium, English and French, or Belgium, Spanish and English, depending on who the player of the month is. Word has it that it is Diego Costa. Apparently there was some like source code from the Premier League website that was leaked. It's already been updated on Wikipedia that he's won it. We don't know how like concrete that kind of information is right now, and some people say, oh, EA will never give him an informed man a player of the month. Well, EA don't pick the player of the month. It's voted for 10% by the fans and then 90% by media, players, journalists, managers, coaches, etc. And that's how it's voted. So if he wins, he wins. EA can't just be like, oh no, we don't want him to win, let's pick someone else. They don't have that authority. The same with like Team of the Year. Like so many times, like Team of the Year gets announced and people are like, oh my god, man, how did EA miss out this guy? EA don't pick Team of the Year. It's voted for. Like they don't have a choice in the matter. So yeah, basically, I heard that he won it. So if Diego Costa wins Player of the Month, it will be announced and released on Friday during the lunch area at some point. I will move heaven and earth on this account to make sure I get him for the weekend league. And what we will then run will be Costa at striker, Hazard at left forward, Sterling at right forward. We then need any Belgians, any English, and any Spanish. So our midfield will consist of De Bruyne, Rooney, and Dembele, Moussa Dembele. So that will be our midfield. More Belgian, more English. Our fullbacks will then be Hector Bellerin, Spanish right back, Kyle Walker in form at left back, Chris Smalling and Vincent Kompany in defence, and then Courtois in goal. If he doesn't win it, we'll go back to the French and have Lacazette and Fekir up front, Hazard at left mid. We'll go for Kante, Dembele and De Bruyne, or potentially Rooney, whoever I want, in midfield. And then instead of having Bellerin at right back, I won't be putting Kyle Walker there. I'll be putting Nathaniel Klein at right back and keeping Kyle Walker at left back. And then instead of Kompany, we'll have Koscielny. And then that's the whole thing changed. Now, this team, you saw the last team we came up against, the dude had a legend. This dude had 2 legends. Why? I'm in Division 2 and I'm coming up against these super teams. That's neither here nor there. This is clearly this guy's 3-nation team that he's practicing for Foot Champs. And, all credit to him. But, but after this weekend league, I'm more than open to putting players in, like, Son. I think Son would be a good midfielder. I think he'd be a good centre midfielder. He's not the shortest. He's not the tallest. He's got decent physicals, 5-star weak foot. I think he'd be great there, man. I think he'd be genuinely good. And he gets a strong link to Kyle Walker as well. So we've got options there. Ewan Hayes says, hey, Net, Movember safe to discard now. You'll be keeping them. I'm only going to keep them until the Diego Costa, or until the Player of the Month is announced. If they're not required for the Player of the Month, I will be discarding I could potentially sell them maybe for 11,000, 12,000 coins. So I'll try selling them first, and if I can't sell them, I'll discard them. But yeah, it's getting to that point now, dude, where it's like, okay, it's time to get rid of all the Movember cards. I've got about 100,000 coins worth discard value just sat in my club. So I would rather... I've waited long enough now to see if I was going to make money on these. I've actually lost money on the Movember cards myself. I bought 6 of them for 90,000 and I'll only get 60 to 70,000 back. And then I've packed a few of them that I'll be able to get some coins back for as well. And look at that again, guys. More legends in Division 2. 5 legends in this team. What is going on here? Yeah, I invested in them hoping to make profit. Now at this point, those coins are just sitting there wasted. I'd rather get those coins and either improve my team or invest those coins elsewhere that would be more beneficial to me. So yeah, I'll wait until Friday before I do anything, dude. But it's getting to that point where it's like, okay, it's time to go. MCFC says, Nep, if you qualified, please don't do the daily tournament. You ruin 4 people's chances to join the weekend league. And the next question, I hate it when the good players kick out 4 players from the FUT Champions for a mini reward that nobody would care about. Just play divisions. No. I'm sorry if you're not good enough to qualify for FUT Champions, but I'm not going to not play those tournaments just in case I kick someone out. Here's a few things that you need to think about. First things first, when I played in that tournament, you don't know that the people I came up against were already qualified or not. They could have already been qualified too. I may well have not taken the spot of anybody in FUT Champions. Number 2, you don't know that just because I beat them that they wouldn't have then lost to the next person that they played, or if it wasn't me that they faced up against that they would have lost to the first person that they played. They may well have lost anyway. Wouldn't have made a difference whether it's me or somebody else that they lose to. Third thing you got to consider is if they can't even qualify for FUT Champions, if they can't beat someone to qualify for FUT Champions, they're not going to have a good time in FUT Champions. The qualification tournaments are considerably easier than FUT Champs. And although we discussed before, and I agree with the opinion that there should be a alternative way to qualify through a league or make it a bit easier with 3 wins instead of 4, you get 16 attempts throughout the week to win 4 games in a row in a pool of players that's not particularly great. Like, I'm not removing the chance of someone to qualify. I'm just playing the game. There's nothing against playing those tournaments. If EA come out and say if you've qualified you can't play those tournaments, then that's fine. But you can't expect me on a Road to Glory account to turn down the opportunity to build a fun team with the players that I've got and to win a prize that could help enhance my Road to Glory just in case I take the win away from someone who could then qualify for FUT Champs. It goes then to say, you said play divisions instead. What about if I'm in Division 1 and I come up against a guy who's got 11 points in Division 1 and he needs a draw to hold in Division 1 which will qualify him for FUT Champs, and then I play him and I beat him and he gets relegated to Division 2 and now he can't qualify for FUT Champs. Should I stop playing in divisions also? Is that what we're saying now? Should people that are qualified for FUT Champs just not be allowed to play FIFA until the Weekend League? And then when the Weekend League comes around, let's say I'm in my 40th game and I come up against a guy who's 39-0 in his 40th game and I beat him. And now he's gone 39-1. Should I have not played him because I've taken away the opportunity for him to go 40-0? No. Like, it's FIFA, man. It's a competitive game. I'm not going to not play the tournaments just because some people aren't good enough. Because there's always some people that aren't good enough that have got to get better. And they're not going to get better if they just play against weak opponents. And trust me when I tell you, if you come up against 4 weak opponents in the tournament to qualify for FUT Champs because all the good players aren't allowed to play in it, when you get into FUT Champs, you're going to get beasted and feasted on. You're going to get abused, dude. The only way I will say, oh, okay, I'll stop playing is if EA put a new thing out, a new tournament or something that's online that I can play throughout the week that isn't divisions. Because I'm in division, like we're in Division 2 here, and you can tell by the title we move up to Division 1 here. Now I have the 2 things. I can either play Division 1, which isn't too bad. I don't mind playing Division 1 at all. But once I've won Division 1, I've got those 15,000 coin prizes. I'm now in a position where I've done everything in divisions. I've won it. There's nothing else there for me. But those tournaments, they offer the opportunity, as I mentioned, to build unique teams, fun teams, and to win fun prizes that you can't win in divisions. So until EA come out with like the old style tournaments, like the Gold Cup or the Champions Cup or whatever it was called, where you can win a couple of thousand coins in a pack every time, I'm going to play those tournaments. I don't play them often. In fact, what you saw of that video a couple of days ago was the first time I played it in weeks and weeks. It's not like I'm sitting here just whoring it out trying to get those packs. I played it one time on stream because I had nothing else to do. But I'm sorry for those of you that get offended, but this is a video game, man. If my opponents don't sit there and consider me, if I came up against someone that had already qualified, regardless if I beat them or not, he wasn't sitting there thinking, oh man, I hope this guy hasn't, has qualified already because I don't want to take the chance away from him. They just go in there to win and to beat me. Like, people don't offer you and me the same, the level of respect that says, I'm going to let you win this game, because it's FIFA, dude. It's FIFA. It's not that serious. So I'm sorry if you get upset. But that's your bad, man. I'm not gonna not play it just because some people get upset. That's all there is to it. Snipes X-ism says, I really want a FIFA pack version of Case Clicker. If you don't know what Case Clicker is, it's a game where you tap the screen to get money to help you spend on different types of cases to collect rare guns. I'd really love someone to recreate this as a FIFA pack app with special challenges similar to Squad Building Challenge. I will play it non-stop. And I actually replied, I think, saying that there's actually a game called Football Clicker. Not quite the same as what he's doing, but it's actually fun to play. But yeah, I would love. I've looked into, and I like app stuff, just not my thing. But I've looked into and thought about. I've got so many ideas for apps like this, but I just don't have the right team of people to help me realize those apps, those thoughts into actual working apps. But yeah, dude, a kind of like a FIFA clicker. If you guys don't know what clickers are, they're like AFK games where you basically you have to like tap the screen to generate whatever it is that you need to generate, and then you can buy upgrades, which either like you can buy power ups like on Football Clicker. However fast you can click, there's a power up that you can buy that makes you click at 300 times. Basically, every click is the value of 300 instead of the value of 1. So you click quicker, you score more goals, you get more prizes. It like ultimately is a non-entity of a game, but it's fun and it's addictive, and I love it. But yeah, I would love to see some of that, dude. That would be great. Ruben Jensen says, "Hey Nep, do you think FIFA 17 is the best FIFA yet?" Yes. Are there huge problems in FIFA 17? Yes. Speed up lag is an issue. Input delay is an issue. There are certain like motions within the Frostbite engine that are an issue. For example, when the player does the Rabona shot through their own leg, when they just take a regular shot but their leg morphs through their own leg. And one thing I see a lot that I pointed out way back where in early access that nobody ever seems to care about or mention, that I've just kind of learned to deal with now, is the amount of times the ball goes through the standing foot of the striker as they're hitting a shot is unrealistic. It's unreal how often it comes. If you go and watch your replays of goals you score, when you score the goal, the ball rolls through the standing foot to the striking foot. I don't know how people don't see that and think that should not happen. It just should not happen. But yeah, there are some huge issues in FIFA 17, but I think EA have done a fantastic job this year. They're being slightly more open with us about how things work. I personally don't feel like they're where we need them to be. I still feel like there are so many things that we deserve, answers or responses for that they're not giving us. But Squad Builder challenges are great. Foot Champions is great. This is the first year for these major changes to the game, so of course there's going to be teething problems. So we'll see what happens, what comes of it by next year when they get to figure out these teething problems and move forwards with FIFA 18. Ahmed Ahmal, who we've read comments for before. Hi, Nep, I've got a question for an above average FIFA player who can qualify for the weekend league but can only get silver or low gold rank. Would it be more beneficial to play draft as you only need 4 wins in a row to get a good pack, whereas you basically receive the same reward in Foot Champs as well as avoiding the stress of Foot Champs? And this is something I've thought about before, and now again reading that question, it kind of brings me like to okay, what really goes on here? And the simple answer is no, it's not worth it. The reason why is initially because you have to spend 15,000 coins to enter Foot Draft, whereas Foot Champions is free to enter. You just need player skill. On top of that, if you don't win 4 in a row in Foot Draft, you're unlikely to make anything back. And even if you do win 4 in a row in Foot Draft, you're unlikely to make anything back. You're unlikely to make your initial investment back unless you get very, very lucky with a consumable or with a player. I understand that it's less stress, but it's just the reward structure of Foot Draft just isn't good enough. And the reason why is because you can get the worst prize of two 25k packs and 2 5k packs, which is great, and you could get the best prize of a 100k pack and a 35k pack or 45k coins, but you don't know what you're getting. Like in Foot Champs, you know what you're getting, you know where you are, where you stand, and what you're due to receive. But in draft, it's just a random lottery. It's like, hey, you've won the draft, and on one given day, they'll give someone a 50k pack and a 5k pack, so 55k value, and then a different person winning the draft at the same time will get something to the tune of 135k. How can you do that? How can you give one person 55k and give another person almost 3 times the value of the reward for doing the same thing. So although draft is probably slightly easier than FUT Champs and offers decent rewards, you have to pay to enter, and if you don't win 4 in a row in FUT Draft, you're screwed. However, if you don't win 4 in a row in FUT Champs, you've still got loads more games to get up to the Gold 3, Gold 2, Gold 1, where the good prizes are. So no, I don't think it's more beneficial at all. One PSP legend says, the whole video was very touching. Your background stories are amazing. Thank you for sharing. Hope your family's troubles get better and hope your family is happy and healthy, man. Love your visit from Western Australia, and thank you. And again, just very overwhelmed with the inpour of support from you guys in the comment section. He says, question for a vid maybe, would you ever consider doing vlogs? Your FIFA content is top quality, as is your commentary, but I would personally love watching you vlog some of your day-to-day life, even if it's once a month when you do something interesting. I think a lot of people would like a Nepo vlogs too. I've thought about it many times. It's just not for me. I'm not saying it's never going to be for me, but at this point in time, this point in what I do, it's just not for me. I don't really do much by way of like vloggable things, like going to Tesco's or going to soft play with my daughter is not the sort of thing that I would be interested in vlogging or that people would be interested in watching. And I spend a lot of time working right now because I'm fully aware that this social media bubble could pop at any moment. I'm fully aware that today I could be making a healthy living from playing FIFA, and tomorrow I could be sitting here thinking, well, crap, that went wrong. I'm very I basically have the foresight to understand that in 2 years or 1 year or 5 years, this may no longer be a viable job option for whatever reason, because of me, because of external circumstances, because of YouTube, because of the way advertising works. There's FIFA dies. There are so many reasons as to why YouTube for me, or social media in general for me, and for anyone in the social media industry could fall apart and end. That I know I'm fortunate to be in this circumstance. And with that, I know that if it does only last another 6 months or another year or another 2 years, I have only that limited amount of time to basically make as much money as possible through this, whilst having fun, whilst, everything else that comes with it. But from a purely business perspective, I don't know how much time, and that's what's the problem. There's no job security in this. I know a lot of people, no one has indefinite job security realistically. But in general, a lot of people in their regular jobs, their 9-to-5 jobs or whatever job that they do, they have job security. You know that in a year that you're still going to be there. If you're a tube driver, you know that tubes are still going to be running in 3 years, 5 years, 8 years. And I know the social media industry is still growing, but because it is in its infancy, it's liable to change drastically at any given moment because there's no structure, there's no case history to say this is how it's gone traditionally so that we can plan for the future. So yeah, basically I want to make as much money as I can in as short a time as possible as I can, so that when this bubble does burst, I've completed my obligations outside of YouTube to make a living. And I'm well on my way to doing that. You guys know that I just bought this house. This is my second house. I'm already on my way to buying my third house, and my other than working for my family business again, my aim for outside of YouTube is to have a property portfolio where I buy and rent out properties. So I'm on the way to doing that, and that's obviously thankful to you guys. I've got a few other outside business ventures that are going on, but most of them are startups and just don't know if they're ever going to take off or not. So it's going to be an interesting one there. But yeah. So in terms of vlogs, in terms of the question, the reason why I don't do much is because I do work a hell of a lot. Right now I sacrifice at times time with my family and with my friends to be here, to be in my office every day, to make sure I'm working, because I know that there will be a day where I won't need to or have to be in my office working, doing videos and stuff, and that's when I can then give the true time to my friends and my family. Not that I don't spend time with them, don't get me wrong, I give my daughter anything she needs whenever she needs it, be it time, be it feeding, bathing her, reading her bedtime stories. I give her everything that any father should give a daughter. But yeah, basically in a position where I just don't want to look back in 10 years and be like, damn man, I wish I worked harder. I want to make sure that I've got the most out of this industry when it comes to a close for me. And I'm not sitting here saying I want it to come to a close. I'm not saying I think it is going to come to a close. I just want to be prepared. Now, anyway, guys, in the final game here, the final game of Division 2, we needed just a draw to secure the title. And I wanted to get the title. We'd already guaranteed promotion, but I wanted to get the title just because I didn't want to not have all the division titles along the way to Division 1. So a draw was necessary. We screwed up in one game. We lost. We drew a couple of other games, which was a bit frustrating that I should have won. We come up against some good teams. I demolished some players. I played good. I played bad. And eventually we got back into this game at 1-1. Just one more question as you watch this game. Brett Vanden Kerkhove says, Nep, De Bruyne has 85 stamina. Why are you complaining about it? I'm not like... Me talking about and addressing issues isn't necessarily a complaint. Like, don't look at it as complaining. Like, I'm allowed to talk about things without you thinking that I'm just complaining. Like, a discussion is not a complaint. Like, he says you need to realise that midfielders are always bombing up and down the field, whereas a defender are not, and that's why Smalling and Baye have some left in the tank by extra time. I just think you like massively misinterpreted everything I was talking about. And by the way, I ended up equalising in the 90th minute to get the tie, which was great. I did look at De Bruyne's stamina, and I was surprised to see it was so high, because when I paused the game around the 60th, 70th minute to make subs, Sigurdsson would have a lot left. His green bar would be high, whereas De Bruyne's would be low, which, even though they have the same work rates, just mean that however I play with De Bruyne, if I play differently with him compared to how I play with Sigurdsson, or whatever happens in the game, he tires quicker than Sigurdsson does, just through my experience. I know the stats may say he has one more stamina than Sigurdsson, but through the stats, he tires quicker, so I have to sub him off more. The reason why I know defenders don't bomb up and down the pitch as much as midfielders do, and that's why they have more in the tank. But again, this is where I think you misconstrued what I said. I've used defenders that have lower stamina, 69, 70 stamina, and by the 80th, 90th minute, they get burned by attackers, whereas Baye and Smalling don't. It's not about midfield and defence, it's about these specific defenders. The reason why I love Baye and Smalling specifically is because they have really high stamina levels, to the point where other centre-backs, even if they might have better stats, wouldn't be as good due to the fact that they basically can't last as long. And that, for me, is important. Yeah, that's where it is. But anyway, guys, this is going to be the end of the video today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.